Ladies and gentlemen, deadheads, friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum, and today I'm bringing you another triple reaction to the Grateful Dead. We're going to be checking out the songs Friend of the Devil, Me and My Uncle, and lastly, Althea. Now, disclaimer, we've actually heard Althea once before on the channel. I believe it was a live performance at Nassau. And if you guys are ever confused at what songs I have or haven't reacted to from the Grateful Dead, I actually have a useful resource in the description box. It is a list of all of the reactions I've done. All you have to do is control find, you can type in Grateful Dead and you'll see every single Grateful Dead reaction that I've done, or you can also find those reactions in my own Grateful Dead playlist. So yeah, either way, if you guys have been wondering which songs I've already checked out on this extensive journey, that's the best way to do it. But yeah, as always with the Grateful Dead, I'm super excited to be checking this out today and vibing along with you all. But before we do, let's please thank Jeffrey the Compassionate for making this donation request and for handpicking each of these songs today. It is much appreciated, Jeff. Now, let's jump in. Oh, a very clearly descending melody. And this is a bit more of an acoustic Dead, it seems.
I lit up from Reno, I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep that night till the morning came around. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
How many acoustic guitars are in this mix? It sounds like two at least.
Daylight, just
one here, one here.
Tonight. Ran into the devil, baby, loaned me 20 bills. Spent the night in Utah in a cave up in the hills. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
So this character feels like an unsavory type. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine.
Before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. I ran down to the levee, but the devil caught me there. Took my $20 bill and it vanished in the air. Set out running, but take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Got two reasons why I cry away each lonely night. The first one's named Sweet Anne Marie, and she's my heart's delight. Second one is prison, baby, the sheriff's on my trail. And if he catches up with me, I'll spend my life in jail. Got a wife in Chino, baby, the one...
So, am I like missing part of the story? It seems like we have a fugitive on the run, essentially. It's like this tale is being told kind of with like a bit of a wink and a smile. It's like we're at the campfire right now and that crazy uncle of ours is like, hey, you want to hear the craziest confession ever? He's super casual about it, but the thing is there's actual real weight underneath it. So it kind of, in this Jerry way, super relaxed delivery, but you kind of can't shake the fact that it's like darkly funny too. I'm not really sure if that makes sense. I'm not really sure if anything that I say makes sense anymore.
Sheriff's on my trail, and if he catches up with me, I'll spend my life in jail.
Like he's so casual about it.
Got a wife in Chino, baby, the one in Cherokee. First one says she got my child, but it don't look like me. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
acoustic groove is just like deceptively relaxing and chill.
Got two reasons why I cry away each lonely night. The first one's named Sweet Henry, she's my heart's delight. The second one is Prison Baby, the sheriff's on my trail. And if he catches up with me, I'll spend my life in jail. Got a wife in Chino, baby, and one in Cherokee. First one says she got my child, but it don't look like me. I set out running, but I took my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
Oh my gosh. When songs are this short, it almost feels like it's not the Grateful Dead, just because of how used to I am of hearing their live shows. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I mean, I guess the devil doesn't have to be the devil in the literal sense. It could be, any of the vices that one becomes afflicted with, whether it's guilt, addiction, shame, whatever. You have a certain devil, and you can befriend that devil with all of your, progressively worse and worse actions that cause you to have to constantly be on the run, even from yourself. But I love how this whole song, despite there being that kind of, I would say maybe 2 meters deep level of meaning here, it's still very warm in its feeling, right? You have this very folk rock, country rock feel. The acoustic guitar is just filling up so much of this arrangement, and then Jerry's voice being warmer than I typically hear it. It truly feels like your uncle is sat down at the campfire singing you this song about his life, and you kind of have to you enjoy the song, but if you actually pay attention to the lyrics, you're like, Uncle, are you okay? Should you be here right now? Should we all be concerned about this situation? I don't know, man. I love songs, though, where he's telling stories, that's for sure. Let's jump into the next track here, Me and My Uncle. Speaking of uncle,
me and my uncle went riding down South Colorado, West Texas.
So we got Bob on the lead here.
In Santa Fe, that day in the fall, just about halfway. Hey, and it was the hottest part of the day. And I took the horses up to the stall, went to the bar room, ordered drinks for all. 3 days in the saddle, my body hurt.
So this is even more country rock, maybe even a better way to put it is cowboy folk rock sounding than the first track there. And very fast paced too. There's almost that galloping rhythm you can hear underneath.
3 days in the saddle, my body hurt. It been summer, I took off my shirt.
And again, about another outlaw, it seems.
I tried to wash off some of that dusty dirt.
Half storyteller, half gunslinger.
A West Texas cowboy, there's all around. With liquor and money, they load it down. So soon after payday, no, it seemed a shame. My uncle, he starts a friendly game. Then a high-low jack and the women take the hand.
High-low jack, is that a variant of poker? Because the two variants of poker that I'm familiar with and play the most are Pot Limit Omaha and No Limit Hold'em. But I have heard of the different games like Stud, I guess High-Low Jack is one of them as well. I don't know. I just recently was watching the WSOP, I saw the main event, Michael Mizrachi winning in just triumphant fashion. It felt destined for this guy. He was just sun running and constantly sucking out in different spots. I love poker, and I love how much Grateful Dead in and around their music reference poker. So I'm assuming Hilo Jack is a poker game, but I'm just not too sure.
You know my uncle, he starts friendly games. Yeah, my high-low jack and the women take the hand.
Yeah, now more emphasis on the guitar in this track. This is definitely doing it for me.
Mom started winning, the Cowboys got sore. One of them called in, and then two more. Accusing me cheating. Oh no, it couldn't be. I know my uncle, he's as honest as me.
He's as honest as me. So it's funny because I've been to Denver. I'm actually going to be going to Denver in about a month's time here as well. Everybody I've ever met in Denver has been actually super honest, been really kind, just, nature-loving folk. And it seems like here they're kind of referring to Denver people as being dishonest in that ironic sense, because I'm as honest as a Denver man can be. I never knew Denver people to be dishonest. Maybe this is part of the culture that I don't don't quite know.
I'm as honest as a Denver man can be. One of them cowboys, he starts to draw, and I shot him down low, but he never saw. Shot me another, well that time he won't go whoa. In the confusion, my undergrad to go. Hey, we hightail it down to Mexico.
The uncle just wants the gold and bounces.
Now I love those cowboys, I let they go. Love my uncle, God rest his soul. Taught me good love, taught me all I know. Done it so well. Well, I grabbed that coat, and I left this dead ass bill by the side of the road.
That really just makes me want to go play that video game, Red Dead Redemption. I'm not sure which one I had. I think it was either Red Dead Redemption 1 or Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know how many of you guys even play video games or know about what I'm talking about, but I remember as a kid, I'd never played Grand Theft Auto, which is like the more popular kind of free roam chaos kind of world. Red Dead Redemption always had my heart. It was so fun to like use the lasso. It was so fun to do those like quick draw games, doing like the 5-finger fillet, some of the poker games you could play, all of the side stories, this huge expansive Western world that I am so foreign to. The saloon. And then it makes me want to watch those movies like the Tarantino movies, what is that other one? The Hateful Eight? I think that's also Tarantino, but correct me if I'm wrong. That's on my list to go watch. What's another? Kind of like Western style film, though it's not entirely Western. Maybe like Django Unchained counts, but that's almost like a different historical period. I don't know. Leave it in the comments. What Western movies should I watch? Because I think in terms of all of the movie genres that I typically opt in for, Western is not one of them. So I think of my movie knowledge, which if I didn't have a music reaction channel, I have told this to people, I would have probably started a movie review channel. That's one of my several interests, but Western movies, I haven't seen all of that many. Another one of my favorites, which I don't know if you even qualify this as Western, but No Country for Old Men. Bro, that movie, the acting in that movie, Anton Chigurh, just fire. What was that line? call it, right? Call it. Anyways, let's jump into the last track here, Althea. I need to know what I stand to win, boss. Everything. How's that? You stand to win everything, now call it. Loving the beat in this already.
I told Althea I wasn't feeling lost, lacking in some direction. Althea told me upon scrutiny that my back might need protection. I told Althea that treachery tearing me limb from limb. Althea told me, cool down, boy, settle back, easy, Jim.
If I'm remembering correctly, Althea, or he's kind of sharing his troubles with Althea in hopes of reaching some solace and getting her advice on how to deal with the betrayals of his friendship. But let's see if my memory is even correct.
With a pinch of grace, you may be a clown in the burying ground, or just another pretty face. You may be the fate of a feeling, sleeping every chance to dream, honest to the point of recklessness, self-centered, the extreme. With you, but you, your friends again, most concerned.
I think I missed that line the first time, but ain't nobody messing with you but you. Like, all of these thoughts of like potential treachery that are entering your mind, that is your perception of what may be happening, but really your friends are concerned for you because you may be more paranoid than you ought to be. I think that's part of the story. But in my mind, I still think that it's about the true betrayal of his friends, but maybe it's actually a little bit more complicated than that now, given that detail. Let's keep going.
With you, but you,
I'm trying to remember. What was my takeaway the first time?
Lose with the truth, baby, it's your fight. Baby, I hope you don't get burned. When the smoke is cleared, she said, that's what she said to me. All I want a man, lay your head, and a little sympathy. but you cannot. Time has come to weigh those things. This space is getting hot. Oh, you know this space is getting hot. Told Althea I was a road sign. I was born to be a bachelor. Althea told me, okay, that's fine. You know now I'm trying to catch her. Can't talk to you without talking to me. We're guilty of the same old thing. Thinking a lot about this and this, and forgetting the love we bring.
It is so helpful to me. I've done this in countless Grateful Dead reactions at this point, but it's nice to reflect at this moment. But it is so helpful to me to imagine the layering and just the music of Grateful Dead as a river, truly, with multiple streams, multiple pathways, some larger than the others. Other times you have little smaller tributaries that eventually fizzle out. Because when you're in the flow, everything just feels like you're being moved with the waves of the music, and you're just meant to go in the direction that it takes you. But the thing is, that direction changes routinely within the track. So you end up going down that other path in the river. It splits off, and then there's another split, and then sometimes that split can bring you right back again to where you were towards the middle, or even at the beginning. But then once you've returned to the beginning as that, what are we, like a frog on a lily pad or something in this example, floating around the river too is dynamic and can change over time. So whatever existing structure there is of the river, well, with fluid mechanics being what they are, things can change. Maybe it starts to rain and the river widens, and the shore becomes more flooded. I mean, anything is really possible with the Grateful Dead, and if you try to use that river analogy, I think it does a lot of heavy lifting in terms of trying to understand their music from at least a separate perspective. We're using the idea of nature, but there's other metaphors too that I can imagine would work well when trying to conceptualize Grateful Dead's work. But that said, when you're flowing in that river, it is just so enjoyable. And for me, having heard these 3 tracks today, the most free-flowing track was Althea. I mean, their live performances are just unmatched, and I still appreciate what I hear in the studio versions of their songs, even what we heard in the beginning with, what is it called, the Friend of the Devil, but it doesn't feel as personal and warm as any of their lives, frankly speaking. So in order of my preference, I think for these 3 tracks today, I think I give the highest score to Althea, and then I will give it to, maybe this is a bit of a toss-up in the second spot. It always ends up this way. It's always like a closer, I think, distinction between 2 and 3, but I think I'll just give it to me and my uncle because of how fast-paced it was in comparison to the first track, which was more, obviously, acoustic heavy, which is no problem. I do like my Grateful Dead acoustics, but I think melodically, me and my uncle was just a tad bit more interesting. But let me know what you thought about these 3 tracks today. I think two of these tracks definitely talked about the outlaw life, and the last one was about having the advice from a close friend or potentially lover in Althea. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you thought about everything in the comments down below. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and would like to request more Grateful Dead yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link down below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.